Hi there, I'm Matt Meyer. Today I'm here to discuss Section 9.3 of Human Resource Management, the keys to managing and leading people. We'll start off with 9.3a, which is all about motivation theories and Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Motivation is the desire to complete a task or to accomplish something. And there are two different types. There's intrinsic motivation and extrinsic motivation. Intrinsic motivation is the desire to complete something for your own enjoyment, while extrinsic is the desire to complete something for a reward or to avoid a penalty. Moving on to Maslow's hierarchy of needs, there are 5 different types of needs, and each one is necessary to achieve the next level. So the 5 levels include physiological, the first one, safety, social, esteem, and self-actualization. Self-actualization being the highest level you can achieve. Next up, we have influence and power. Influence is getting someone to do something, and there are several influence bases that a project manager can use to exercise his influence. A few of the important ones include authority, which is the project manager's right to issue orders, promotion, the ability to improve an employee's position at the company, money, the ability to increase an employee's pay, as well as friendship, which is the ability to establish relationships with the coworkers. Power, on the other hand, is like influence, but is used to influence people's behavior to do things they would not otherwise do. Types of power include coercive power, which is using negative punishments, threats. Legitimate power is getting someone to do something based on a position of your own authority. Expert power is using personal knowledge or expertise to get people to change their behavior. And referent power and reward power are based on a person's charisma and using incentives to get people to do things respectively. Next up, we have emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is knowing and managing one's own emotions, as well as understanding the emotions of others, and this is important to improving your performance in the workplace. In fact, 71% of hiring managers reported valuing emotional intelligence over IQ. Next, and finally, we have leadership. There are several leadership styles, but there is no one best way to be a leader. There is visionary, coaching, affiliative, democratic, pace-setting, and commanding. Coaching being helping individuals to improve performance, affiliative, which emphasizes the importance of teamwork, democratic, which is focused on a commitment to sharing goals, and commanding, which is of course a more autocratic or uses absolute power. In conclusion, managing and leading your team is an important part of Project Human Resources and is critical to the success of the project. There are many different factors to it, such as the leadership style, which is the ability in being able to adjust your style to meet the needs of the situation, the needs of the employees, such as Maslow's hierarchy of needs and intrinsic and extrinsic motivation, as well as your influence over the team. And it is important to take all these factors into account when running a project manager team. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Tapasya, and I'll be going over developing the human resource plan. In order to develop a human resource plan for a project, one must identify and document roles, responsibilities, skills, and reporting relationships. I'll be going over 3 parts of developing human resource plan. The first part is organizational charts, which is basically a chart to know who is doing what and with whom. As you can see here, it's an example of the organizational chart. The project manager is leading everyone, and then there's a deputy project manager who is the substitute of the project manager, and there will be each section of the project with 3 managers taking responsibility for it, and then there will be 2 or 3 people in each team. The second part is responsibility assignment matrices. Project manager uses an organizational breakdown structure to use which organizational units are responsible for which work item. After developing that, project manager develops a responsibility assignment matrix, which shows the work of the project. And here you can see this is an example of the responsibility assignment matrix. The last part is staffing management plans and resource histograms. Staffing management plan is when and how people will be included in the project team, as well as being excluded from it. For example, based on the book, if an IT project needs 100 people, the staffing management plan will describe the types of people needed. In this case, the IT project might need Java programmers, business analysts, and even technical writers. And once those are decided, the staffing manager will decide the number of each type needed and how many months will be required. And for that, there's a chart here, which is the resource histogram. And here you can see in January there will be only one manager with 3 business analysts, 4 programmers, and then so on. So these are the parts of the Developing Human Resource Plan.
Hi, I'm Jordan Kinnett, and I'm here to speak with you today about 2 of the most important skills that one can have when working in the Human Resources Department. The first is acquiring the project team, and the second is developing the project team. There are 3 important topics related to acquiring the project team: resource assignment, resource loading, and resource leveling. During resource assignment, project managers must work with others to assign team members to projects or to get more human resources needed. Project managers must ensure that the people assigned to the project have the right skills and needs of the organization for the requirements of the project. Resource loading refers to the amount of individual resources that an existing schedule requires during specific time periods. The project manager's goal is to achieve project success without increasing costs or the time required to complete the project. This is because sometimes during a period of crisis, it is possible to experience overallocation and have to add resources. An important measure of the project manager's success is how well they balance the trade-offs among performance, time, and cost. Resource leveling is a technique for resolving resource conflicts by delaying tasks. The main purpose of resource leveling is to create a smoother distribution of resource usage. During resource leveling, project managers examine the network diagram for areas of slack or float and to identify resource conflicts. Now, for developing the project team, there are 3 things to consider: training, team building activities, and reward and recognition systems. The main goal of team development is to help people work together more effectively to improve project performance. For training, organizations have found that it is often more economical to train current employees than it is to hire new people. Project managers often recommend that people take specific training courses to improve individual and team development. Many organizations provide e-learning opportunities for their employees so they can learn specific skills at any time and any place. It's important to make sure that the timing and delivery method for the training is appropriate for specific situations and individuals. For team building activities, it is important to understand individual needs such as learning styles, past training, and physical limitations when determining team building training options. Several organizations use physically challenging activities to help them develop as a team. However, more organizations have teams participate in mental team building activities in which they learn about themselves, each other, and how to work as a group most effectively. The team building activities and exercises used in mental team building include the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator, Wilson Learning Social Styles Profile, and the DISC Profile. For reward and recognition systems, some organizations offer bonuses, trips, or other rewards to workers that meet or exceed company or project goals. To conclude, the 3 important topics related to acquiring the project team are resource assignment, resource loading, and resource leveling. And the 3 things to consider when developing the project team are training, team building activities, and reward and recognition systems. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jake Fita, and I will be going over the next passage of this presentation. Before we get started, I want to dedicate this project on behalf of my group to my good friend Harambe, because he died for our sins. The 2 sections I will be covering following the rewards and recognition will be managing the project and assistant in human resources. When managing a project team, it is important to be very fluid and adaptive to the inevitable changes that are going to occur during a project. When dealing with people, it is important to have good, soft, interpersonal skills that allow you to connect with your team much more effectively. As the project manager, you should always monitor the progress and performance of your team. Some tools and techniques that you should utilize are observation and conversation, different project performance appraisals, interpersonal skills, and conflict management. That being said, the 5 methods of handling a conflict are listed here and weighed on this chart beside me by relationship performance and task performance. Each method of handling conflicts is put into a certain spot based off of what you can see here. You have task importance here on the x-axis and relationship importance on the y-axis. Patrick Lencioni gave advice on managing teams when he stated, "Teamwork remains the one sustainable competitive advantage that has largely been untapped. Teamwork is almost always lacking within organizations that fail and often present within those that succeed." Moving on, the 5 dysfunctions of a team are listed here as the absence of trust, fear of conflict, the lack of commitment, avoidance of accountability, and lastly, inattention to results. Solutions to those problems are listed here beside me as being patient, not blaming people, establishing meetings, retaining small working groups, planning meetings, arranging social events, nurturing, and acknowledging accomplishments. Moreover, software can assist us with human resources. In my example, I used an example of Microsoft Project. As you can see, on the left-hand side, you can see each resource name, which in this case is the name of each member of the project. Beside that has their responsibilities, and if you go over to the right, you can see the amount of hours they worked, and then you have a chronological scale of how many hours they worked per month. You can make a lot of adjustments to this tool, and you can use it in many ways. Now, to conclude this presentation, I want to state that I've went over techniques to manage properly, stating the issues within a group, solutions to those problems, as well as the assistance of software and human resources. My name is Jake Fida, and on behalf of our project group, have a very nice day.